Hello, and welcome to our session on NX11, What's New in Expressions. What we'll do now is take a quick look at the new expression system as it has been redesigned for NX11. The first thing we'll notice now is we have a very table-like format with which to enter the names, values, and formulas. And all we need to do now is just click on the name to change the name immediately. We still have the great connection to all the other places it is used, and we'll change the name there automatically as well. The next thing we'll look at is some of the controls we have when we're in the expressions. What type of expressions we want to show, what type of groups we want to show. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to go create a couple more different groups to help us maintain the readability and usability of our expressions for later downstream use. What we're going to do now is just create a couple of different groups. And as we can see now, one of the columns is the group, and we're simply going to change where some of these expressions are not going to exist. So now I can filter on what kind of groups I want to see or none. And on the end here, I'm going to take the interface group and make it my active group and only show the active ones I'm working on. The next thing I'm going to do within this context is create a brand new expression. When I create this now, we'll see it's of type number, but as I type in a string value, it will automatically convert the type to string for us, again, saving us time and anticipating what we are trying to accomplish. The next thing we want to do is just start to create to change values. And when we change the value of one expression, again with the click interface, we see we get two different colors. The dark for the ones that are changed and the orange ones of which they affect. We said show me only the pending changes, and as we applied them, it automatically turned off that switch. The next thing we want to do now is go ahead and create some new expressions. So we insert 5 new rows into our table. We go to an external spreadsheet and we just copy and paste those values into our new model. What we can do now is we can quickly edit some of these values if we would like to. Now we have the ability to multi-edit values at one time. As you can see here, we pick 3 different values, edit all of them at once, and they will all take that same new value. Again, the orange change. Now what we want to do is we want to go back to the spreadsheet, copy out those original values, and paste them back in over the top. The one thing to notice when we do this is, even though we pasted in a quote-unquote new value over the top of the other ones, it does not signify it as changed because the value was the same as it originally was. The next thing we want to do is go ahead and create a parameter called myParameter01, but it already exists. The error checking now will not allow us to do things that are not allowed. The pink was a notification to say that one already existed in the system. So now what we want to do is we want to just create a distance, and then we want to create a time variable called myTime. We'll change the dimensionality to time and give it a value. As we can see now, we need a value in there. It gave us the pink one. We'll apply those 2 values. Now the next thing we want to do is if we have a time and a distance, we want to create a speed. So as we go ahead and take the 2 parameters we just created, it will automatically change the dimensionality for us to velocity. Not only get that, the units will be the default units, but we can quickly convert the units to whatever were needed for our next calculations. The next thing we want to do is look at some of the advanced filtering available. We can filter on any of the columns, any of the names, any of the values available with simple drop-down lists for what we want to look at and how we want to look at it. We can see right here we're just doing filter by name that contains DIAM anywhere in the value. We can turn those off and on, and remember is the last one we had. I want to thank you for taking the time to look at the new NX11 expression system with us today.